Hey, happy Saturday. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the stream. Hopefully everyone's doing okay. Man, what a nice day it is for us, at least in the Midwest. Well, kind of nice. I'll pick my word. I'll choose my words wisely. I'll start with weather. I usually start with weather. It's crazy. It's spring, and that's obvious. I mean, 2 days ago it snowed here, and today it's supposed to be up to 72 degrees here in the Midwest, which is kind of crazy. Which is actually it's a lot closer to what it should be. Thank you so much. Also, I'll call out all the events that happened right before I went live. But yeah, it's super weird out. It's really humid out, which is nice. It's a nice change, but I forgot what it felt like for it to be humid here. It's so sticky, and we got some big storms coming, but I'm totally okay with that. Which leads me into what I've been working on. I usually ask you guys what you're working on, and today I'm gonna start with what I've been working on. I usually do. I don't know, a whole bunch of stuff. Working on my next video. I've been kind of toying with a couple of things. I hate to be super vague, but I have kind of been. And then on top of that, a lot of maintenance this morning, a lot of patching. I didn't really do it last weekend because I had a lot going on, and I had a lot of my services running to where I couldn't really easily take them down or have any kind of interruption. So this morning was all patching, cleaning up. So a lot of patching of servers, patching of Kubernetes nodes, patching of a lot of my services, new containers, new code deployments, you name it. And trying not to break the Discord bot. I do apologize. I know the mods are probably like, dang, dude, do you know how to write code? But anyways, long story, earlier this week, I rolled out a new Discord bot. That was an upgrade from a previous one, and a few things broke. Not as much broke as I thought would, but still. Anyways, kind of annoying. So I apologize for that. And then on the heels of cleaning up and reorganizing and patching, I guess, or maybe not so much patching. Today was a super nice day this morning, so I went out and I cleaned up the lawn. I don't know why. I had this urge to go out and do something outside, and I thought, well, there's a whole bunch of leaves and junk in the yard. I'll clean that up right before it rains and storms, so that the weeds can grow a little bit better. My lawn is not the greatest. It's hard to grow grass if you're in Minnesota, just because the springs and summers are so short. But I cleaned it off. It has a clean place now for weeds to grow. I'm not huge on grass. Sounds weird, but I'm not big on like making my lawn perfect. I just want it to be green. I don't care if it's weeds. I don't care if it's something. Just green is kind of nice. Just less brown. So, anyways, that's enough about me. Let's get into a couple things. So real quick, if you're new to the stream, welcome. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. It's pretty loose here. It's pretty loose and a lot different from what I do on YouTube. It's pretty open. If you have things you want to talk about, things you want to share, things you want to ask me about, or previous videos that I've worked on, or things you're stuck on, let me know. Toss it in chat. Let's talk about it. I do go through almost every single comment that I possibly can. I start from the top down and just work my way through it. And so, yeah, so if you have something you're working on, you're excited, you're frustrated, tech-wise, throw it in the channel. Throw it in the channel for sure. Let's try to stay on topic. There's a lot in the world we could be frustrated about right now, but let's focus on tech, because all the other news stuff we hear all the time. And then yeah, so let's get into like events and things that happened right before we went live. I'll go all the way back to Savior. Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Thank you. Vipevire, Condezero, Flashman, I'm going J4 Dice, and Waves and Bits. Thank you guys for the follow. Thank you so much. Salvarius, resub, tier 1, 11 months. Dude, thank you so much. How's it going, Salvarius? Hopefully everything's going okay with you. Hopefully I see you in Discord, and hopefully everything's well. Thanks for the continued support. 11 months, dude. Almost 1 year. Dude. Almost 1 year. Almost 1 year. I had a little bit of coffee, and on top of that, I'm drinking a caffeinated drink right after coffee, so I'm pretty amped up, but it's been pretty low key too. Kind of weird. My Saturdays are usually kind of weird. Real quick, Starbug, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. And then Mangle Rule, thanks for the sub. Prime sub. Thank you so much for spending your Prime sub on me. Yeah, my Saturdays are usually pretty low key. I mean, most of the time, I release a video on Saturdays, and there's a lot of scrambling. But for the most part, besides patching and scrambling and doing social stuff or videos and making sure that everything's right, mine are pretty low key, and I don't say much on Saturday mornings. I'm just kind of quiet. It's kind of my quiet time. So this Saturday especially has been my quiet time because my wife she went out of town with friends just a little bit ago. Dark mode, yes. And so it's been really quiet. I probably said about 4 words before this, and it was to dogs who can't really talk back. So anyway, so I'm trying words today. I haven't done a lot of words yet, but here they come. So hopefully I get this right. So yeah, like I said, if you got something you want to talk about, let's throw it in chat. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's first answer the question of who was here first. I know who was here first because I saw it because I was testing my banana, and it was Mafney. It was Mafney, I believe. I'm gonna scroll up just to be sure because my things are a little bit off sync. Yes, Mafney was. All right, well, I'll let that auto scroll now. Mafney, thank you so much for being here. How's it going? Mafney was first. PC Geek, you were on the Mafney first, and then PC Geek with emotes, you were here pretty close. And I do love your emotes. I'm gonna focus today and making a few more emotes. I'm super jelly of PC Geek's emotes every time he comes in here as new ones. I need to work on mine. I need to get some animated ones for sure. So Mafney, how's it going? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Skookally, hello. How's it going? Skookally joining the early gang today. yeah. So we mentioned this a couple times, but there are crews that show up, crews that wait in chat, who know I stream at 3, crews that show up when you get the Twitch notification, and then crews that show up when you get the Discord notification. And then there's everyone else who's like, who's that guy in the pink room or the dark room or whatever's going on. And those people are more than welcome too. So thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Let's see, Mafney, the blue light on your rack reminds me of HAL 9000. Yeah, that blue light, it's a Chenbro case. It's kind of my everything server lately. It's been my server for a lot of testing lately because it's one of the few machines I have on my network that's not running a hypervisor, and that's easy to swap out, and that it's easy for me to change out. But yeah, that Chenbro case has a blue light in it, and that LED is so bright. If you look into it, I honestly think it'll do damage to your eye. And I have looked into it a few times accidentally when like moving around on the rack. I'm like, oh, but yeah, it's pretty awesome. It lights up my whole server room at night. It's like its own night light. Don't even need lights in there. HN Gaming Guck. Gaming UK. Gaming Guck. What am I even saying? Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. PC Geek, hey guys. How are you? How's it going, PC Geek? Mafney. Hype, for sure. All right, PC Geek, let's see here. PC Geek, you're working on 10 gigabit on your R320. Nice. Soon to become my bare metal TrueNAS. Nice, man. Been having similar thoughts lately. I won't go into it, at least not right this second. Upgrade from the R210, then the second R620. I just recently got upgraded to 96 gigabytes of RAM. Dang, dude. And will serve as my test server / Kubernetes cluster experiments. Nice, man. Nice. A lot of shifting go around. It's always fun. Like this morning, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Like I want to shift some stuff around. I usually do. Like I was talking about my Chenbro case earlier. Like that was my test bed for quite a few things. And I have this urge to kind of shift some stuff around. And you mentioned 10 gig, and you also mentioned bare metal TrueNAS. Those are the things that have been going through my head I'd say the last 2 weeks. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll see. But 10 gigabit would be nice to have, only from my PC to that server, just for transferring files, for just transfer speeds. I doubt, at least for me, for my videos, that I would edit directly off the NAS. Who knows? Because local is always going to be faster, even with 10 gig. So I've been toying with that idea too, and mainly because this morning, again, I was patching obviously, if I had a bare metal system, I would patch it too. But you know, when I have to take that I basically schedule all of my maintenance now around taking my TrueNAS server down because it's virtualized. And if I'm going to patch the host that it's running on, I'm going to end up patching everything else too. And so, because a lot of things depend on my storage, so. You know, now I keep going back and forth, Should I continue to keep it bare metal or not? Let's see. HN Gaming UK, preparing my 2.5 hour interview I'm going to have sometime this week. Ooh, that's a long interview. I assume it's broken up into multiple parts or maybe different areas or different people, hopefully. Hopefully not just 2.5 hours with one person. Maybe they just blocked it off, but that's a big interview. Well, I don't know if it's for software development, IT, or anything else. I wish you the best of luck. Hopefully it goes well. That is a long interview. Hopefully it's just a block of time, or hopefully you have multiple people you're interviewing with. And if you are, that means you're a little bit further in the process. So congratulations and good luck to you this week. Good luck to you. I'm missing some stuff. Cowhine, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. And Yojiba, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Crack Kitty, how's it going? Hey all, today I got a notification from Discord team member. Totally almost missed it. Hey, well I'm glad that works because Twitch notifications I don't even know if they work. I sign up for them myself and I rarely ever get them. I should probably check my app settings, but hey, glad that worked. Crack Kitty, glad you're here. How's it going, man? How's it going? Let's see. IOPS34, hi all, how's it going? Let's see, Wave and Bits, reorganizing my office and studying Wi-Fi analysis. Nice. Reorganizing your office sounds kind of fun. Reorganizing to me is generally kind of fun. Moving is not. It's on my top 10 list of things I do not like doing. But moving office, reorganizing your office sounds pretty fun, pretty interesting. I keep reorganizing stuff in here. And there's a whole bunch of stuff you don't see over here. I'm trying to see how I can incorporate some of that stuff in the future, but that sounds fun. And then studying Wi-Fi analysis. I don't know if you mean just like studying the practice of analyzing Wi-Fi or if you're analyzing your own Wi-Fi. Pretty awesome. I don't do much of it, but I do a little bit every now and then, troubleshoot wireless networks and analyze the signals around here. I live in the city, so I have like so many Wi-Fi networks that my access points can actually pick up when they scan, and then trying to make sure that my channels don't overlap with their channels or my neighbors' channels. It's interesting to look at for sure. I wish I had more time to investigate a little bit more, but I did have I think it was last week I had a huge problem. I think one of the neighbors stood up an access point and it was the same exact channel and we were totally overlapped, and I was seeing like tons of drop packets. It was either that or firmware, and after switching and updating a couple things, it's been better. I tossed it out in Discord, but less retries. I was seeing tons of retries and drop packets from all of my access points on 5G, and then did a little investigation, switched some channels around. It seems to be better now, but I mean, I was seeing drops of 20-30%, which is a lot. 1 out of 3 packets getting dropped and retried. That's a ton. So it can slow you down. Especially for audio and video, like doing Zoom calls. That's where I started noticing, because people were like, "You're dropping out like all the time or cutting in and out." And I'm like, "Whoa, I've never had that problem." I'm usually helping people figure that out. Throughout the years of doing AV stuff and streaming and doing video conferences. But now it was me, so now I was like, oh, it's not my internet, and it ended up being my Wi-Fi, believe it or not, and 5G only. So anyways, Wave and Bits, congrats. Hope you figure it out. It sounds fun. PC Geek, my deck is getting rebuilt. It's almost finished. Yeah, I saw that in Discord. Looks pretty awesome. It's a second floor deck, I think, coming off. Looks pretty awesome. Just don't walk out. Yeah, well, maybe you can. It looks pretty sturdy and safe. I think you have 4x at the bottom, but I was like, whoa, if you forgot one day that you didn't have rails or a deck up and you walk out, oof. HN Gaming UK, very dark over here in the UK. Yeah, it's dark probably because one, it's night or night-ish. Yeah, it's night there. It's 6 hours-ish from here, about 9:30 maybe there. And then on top of that, it's usually cloudy and raining. It's kind of how it is here. Kind of how it is here in Minnesota, at least today. At least today. It's interesting though. There's like so much humidity. I wore shorts outside today. First time wearing shorts outside this year. So kind of nice. Starbugs, greetings from the dark and cold Germany. yeah, it's I'm sorry. I'm sorry it's cold. It's not here today. It's been doing okay. Crack Kitty, today is Home Automation Day, working on Home Assistant and insert Paul Hibbert, trusting gift. Yeah, awesome. That sounds like a ton of work. Sounds like a ton of fun and a ton of work. I need to get back on my Home Assistant train. I went down that path for a while and it was just sucking up so much time that I had to like kind of ease back on it, but I feel like I need to get back into it now. Especially now as I keep adding more and more devices and I want more and more automation. And plus, some of the things that, if you use Home Assistant, you can program and automate a lot of different stuff. Especially like some of the problems I have where lights think they're on or lights think they're off. Well, not that they think they're off, but whatever service I'm using didn't turn the light on at a scheduled time. I would love to be able to program some of that with Home Assistant and write code against their API versus everyone else's API. And maybe I'll do that in the future because then I have a standard API to contact all of my devices instead of writing code for very specific devices. Like I wrote code for Hue, I wrote code for Wemo, I wrote code for you name it, Broadlink, just to be able to control these devices. And at some point I'm just like, why am I learning all these different APIs? Why don't I just put it all through Home Assistant and then use their API, and then I learn one API and I can program against that. So anyways, sounds awesome. Sounds fun. It's a ton of work. But once you get it, it seems pretty awesome. PC Geek patching Discord bots. Yeah, you saw the aftermath of that, of me testing a bajillion times. So yeah. So anyways, like if you guys don't know, the code that runs in our Discord server is actually code that I wrote. I'm sorry, and it's pretty okay. There's some things that go on behind the scenes that not everyone sees, or things that are broken that not everyone sees that I dump to logs, and I'm like, oh man, need to fix that. Anyways, I was upgrading from Discord JS 12 to 13, tons of breaking changes. And the only way to test some of those is to test in production, really. So a lot of testing in production going on. Was it yesterday? No, it was yesterday. It was Thursday night. So hopefully it's all fixed. And if things aren't working, let me know. They should be. The benefit of all of that is now with Discord JS 13, long story short, is I can do stuff with the bot inside of threads. 12 didn't support threads, 13 does. So it's kind of nice. So I feel better now. But our community's really well behaved. Anyways, I basically don't even need the bot, but I might keep it around just in case. Let's see. Mango Rule. Hey. Milleruk, resub Prime. 2 months, 1 month streak. Thank you so much. Thanks for the continued support. Thank you for spending your Prime sub on me. Thank you. Thank you. Lights are going. That means it's okay. That means it's a good day if those lights flash, because there's a lot of it's a series of tubes to make all that stuff work, and there are lots of tubes involved. And so if that works, it's pretty okay, because it's code I wrote that goes in a container that then runs in Kubernetes, that's then on a different VLAN, that then has to contact an IoT device, that then has to send out infrared lights to two devices. So it's a series of tubes. It really is. Hey, XOR has subbed, Prime sub. Thank you so much. Thanks for spending your Prime sub on me. Thank you. Mingle Rule, just got a new job at Red Hat. Hey, congratulations, awesome. I'm rebuilding my home lab. I'm rebuilding my whole home lab in the next few days. Are you switching over to OpenStack and everything, Red Hat? I'm kidding, not really. You probably are if you weren't already. But awesome, that is so awesome. Congratulations on the job. huge getting a job at Red Hat. Very huge. Congratulations. Rebuilding your home lab. Always fun. Always fun. And always learning. But it's just a testament to how incredible home labs are, home servers are, to be able to just tear them down, build them up, learn about a whole bunch of stuff. And when you don't like that, tear it down and build it up again. Congratulations on the job. That sounds awesome. Crack Kitty seems good. Yeah, I totally agree. PC Geek, nice. Yeah, I totally agree. Congratulations. I need a clapping sound effect. Yeah, I have this Go XLR now with 15 extra buttons. Maybe I can integrate a clap into there. Anyways, HN Gaming. Other than appliances, Unraid, my OS updates happen automatically. Docker containers updates are manual though. Yeah, I kind of the same way. Mostly the same way. I have Ansible playbooks or tasks that run my updates. I don't schedule them. I'm on this computer already. I should have them scheduled. I usually run it daily. There's been a ton of patches for Debian and stuff lately, and Ubuntu rolling up to Ubuntu, or Ubuntu rolling up to Debian. So that's been interesting for sure. A lot of patches. And then most of my other all Windows is all automatic all the time. I should probably do the same thing for Ubuntu. I thought maybe I do. I can't remember. I run the Ansible task more often than I don't, just for fun. For some reason, I love updates. Firmware updates for me are mostly automatic for things that support automatic, especially all my Unify gear. That's all automatic. And then, my container updates are not automatic. I don't use Watchtower. Nothing against it, but I kind of like a little bit of control and be able to stay on container versions and make a conscious decision to upgrade them. So yeah, that's not automatic. And then my Kubernetes deployments are not automatic. Anyways, the actual task of deploying is automatic, but updating itself is not automatic. I feel like I have like a hair or something on me, something weird going on. But yeah, so I feel your pain. So yeah, I have a script of things I run, and my script itself is manual of things I check, but then the automation piece is automatic. Kind of weird. It's like I have a real playbook of what to update, but it's kicking off automated tasks. So I could probably automate that too, but I kind of like to be there when things happen, so that if something happens, I can revert or change or do something automatically and not wake up to like a disaster in the morning if I do it in the middle of the night. But yeah. So yeah, anyways, hopefully, you got everything patched. Keep patching. Waving Bits, congrats. Mango Rule, I totally agree. Congratulations. Mpish. Hey Tim, tagged you in a pic of my new UPS last week. The new rack came up and racked, my new rack came in and I racked my UPS, my UDM Pro, and my Switch last night. Congratulations. Setting up NUT today while I wait for my new Epic server. Wow, so many awesome things going on. So new rack, a new racked UPS, or racking your UPS maybe for the first time. UDM Pro, Switch came last night. UDM Pro and a Switch came last night, and setting up NUT, and an Epic server. That's like a whole bunch of new stuff. That sounds awesome. That's like Christmas. It's like Christmas in, what is it, April? That sounds fantastic. Sounds awesome. Congratulations on the new gear. I need some new gear. I'm not gonna lie. I keep also eyeing the 48 port PoE switch that I kind of want for many reasons. One, it has 48 ports. I'll be good on ports for a while. And two, it has 4 10 gig ports too as well, which I kind of want. But then I'm like thinking to myself, well, if I'm gonna buy this for the next, I don't know, 3-4 years, do I go 2.5 gigabit? That increases the price about 30%. So I'm not sold on 2.5 gigabit yet. Not that it's not a good technology, but at the same time, it's like, do I pay that tax for that technology, which none of my machines can use yet? That's coming for everyone in the future. It's here already for some motherboards if you have them in some machines. But I'm kind of thinking about the new 48 port PoE switch. We'll see. I feel bad because I feel like I just bought it. It's been probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago when I bought my 24 port PoE switch, but kind of want 48. it's the OCD in me, and it has nothing to do. Like, I have enough ports. Yes, I have to unplug and move some stuff around, but the OCD in me still wants two 24 port patch panels sandwiched around a 48 port switch. So we'll see. Anyways, congratulations on all the new gear. Sounds awesome. You'll have to let us know how you set it up. Share some photos for sure in Discord if you haven't already. I know you said you tagged me. I think that might have been on Twitter, but I'm not sure. But tag me again, because I'd love to see it. Mega Rule. Oh, it might have been in Discord too. I don't know. I get notifications from a lot of places. I try to keep up, and I try not to cross the streams or keep my threads going. But when it goes from social platform to social platform or chat, and that's where it's kind of like, ooh, especially when names don't match. And if I had a nice icon here, which maybe I will in the future, then it would help me associate. Hey, I've seen your icon before. Anyways, long story short. Congrats on the gear. You'll have to share your journey in Discord. Mega Roll, thanks everyone. Yeah, congrats again. Asian Gaming UK, still waiting on my UPS to arrive 3 months later. Oh, that's tough. Coffee. Yeah, coffee. I just slammed on coffee and I ate some bar. I don't know. This bar, it was actually really good. It was a blueberry bar with egg whites and almonds and 2 figs and I don't know, something. But it was actually super good. I probably shouldn't eat those all the time, but it was actually super good. And I drank some ice cold coffee with it, not intentionally. It's just that the coffee pot was cold, and I was like, I'm not going to warm it up. I had some coffee this morning. Actually, more than this morning. I had some this morning, and then some about an hour ago. So I'm good. Let's see, Salvarius, dude. Yeah, I do say dude a lot. I tried to hide it for a while, but now it just comes out. I'm just like, dude. Dude, what? Dude, man? Yeah, thanks, dude. Just a habit. When I was younger, that was our way of how we refer to everyone. I don't know why. Let's see. Oh, a lot of redemptions. Oh, yeah, I see. Wasted points because someone switched it right after. If it didn't trigger, let me know. But Mathny, you have mad points. You got a stockpile of points. You have to. Crack Kitty, LOL. I heard Mathan ask to be deducted 4x extra points. Yeah, I hear ya, Mathan. I say Mathny here on Twitch. Long story. He's Mathan everywhere else. He's Mathny on Twitch. I call him Mathan or Mathan everywhere else, but on Twitch I say Mathny because then just because context. Anyways, it's unfortunate, but it's kind of a light war. Let's see. DC Spreggy. Apologize if I got that wrong. Hi all. What do you recommend for home lab virtualization and storage for learning ITsec, certs, developing web dev, desktop, web/desktop with Node, PHP, Java, C++, for sharing, storing content for my family? I think a lot of people here are let's break this down. For virtualization, I think you have so many options, and I know there are options that you know about, and there's options that we all kind of like as well. I mean, I've been using Proxmox for a while. It works great. It's most of what I could want out of a hypervisor, especially for being open source free. There are other options. There are paid options. There are closed source options like ESXi, and they have a free option that has some limitations that you may or may not care about. There's that. There's XCPNG, which is another great open source and free option, I think, from Citrix. And then there are options that come licensed, from Microsoft. And so you have a lot of options. I would say, like, if you have I don't want to say a low-end machine because it's going to be a hypervisor, but if you have a machine and you haven't started yet, and it's reasonable, where it can do virtualization, obviously it probably can, or you wouldn't be asking, I would say try Proxmox. Give it a shot. See how you like it. What made me choose Proxmox at first? Because I was evaluating a lot of hypervisors, and I've used a lot of hypervisors in the past. Used everything from, you name it, VirtualBox to Hyper-V to ESXi. I think I started on 4 and 5 and then 6. And then Proxmox even tested XCP&G. The reason I ended up going with Proxmox was two reasons, probably more than that. One, it was open source and free, so I could try it and use it exactly the way that I installed it. So there was no trial or no locks or anything like that. And then on top of that, I thought it had a great web dashboard. For me, it was, it was tough back in the day when I did ESXi stuff to use their C# client or whatever it was built on. It was, it was a desktop client. It was like, this kind of stinks. They eventually went to HTML5 or did a web client, and it was a lot better. But I ended up settling on Proxmox because it felt kind of lightweight. It felt pretty lightweight, and it was based on Debian too. So I knew I was going to get lots of patches, lots of updates, and so on and so forth. I would say, start with something open source because it's free, it's open, and you can change your mind if you want. And the only thing you've invested is a little bit of time. So I would say give that a shot. Storage, that's kind of up to you. I mean, if we're talking about storage, I traditionally use TrueNAS. It works great. I used it back when it was FreeNAS, then it went to TrueNAS Core, and now I use TrueNAS Scale. And it works great. Does exactly what I want it to do. It's a storage server. I use a decent amount of functionality from it, mostly storage stuff. So it's my NFS or my Unix shares, Windows shares, does some Mac backups. I use S3 or Minio object storage on it, and iSCSI. So I use a lot of the features on there. All great. It's been rock solid. But if you only have one server, then you're kind of thinking like, well, I only have one server. Can I do both? And if you want to do both, you could even go TrueNAS Scale or Core and do virtualization. I'd probably choose Scale. And do virtualization on there and have storage all in one. I mean, you have so many options, and that's what's great about home labs or home servers or anything like that. Open source in general, you just have so many options. It can be overwhelming too. If you want to separate your concerns and say, hey, I just want a hypervisor, try one of the ones I mentioned. If you want and then for storage, you have options there too. The ones that I'm familiar with and I use. It's basically TrueNAS. You could use that too. And if you only have one machine, you can combine the two. You can combine the two a lot of different ways. So many ways you can slice this. But I would go with those first. Check those out. Oh my God. Let's see. Going good. Let's see. How Lickety splitted, Techno Tim. How does one test a banana? Yeah, banana's my test command. If you use !banana, it'll echo out an emoji banana. That was an old early days of streaming where I had test commands or people would try test commands, and I think Takano would always try banana. Then one day I slipped it in there to where it would actually echo back out a banana. So. But that's my test now. It tests a lot of things all the way through my Kubernetes cluster, all the way back to Twitch, and that the command actually works. So yeah, and that my Twitch token, it's an end-to-end test for me, end-to-end, totally, from chat, from Twitch to my home lab server to Kubernetes to my containers. And then echoing back out on Twitch. So it's my end-to-end test. Right before I go live, I usually do that or something else, and it works out pretty good. Yeah. And then lots of banana, lots of people testing the banana command. Let's see. Techno Tim, any drawbacks or gotchas with installing Harvester on bare metal? No, I would only do it bare metal. Apologize. 1 second. Okay. Any drawbacks? No, I would only do it bare metal. I would never do nested virtualization because essentially that's what you're going to end up doing unless you're absolutely like strapped for hardware and you only want to evaluate something. I would never run nested virtualization, at least in my hardware, in my configuration, as something that I really wanted to keep long term. I've done nested Proxmox before for demos in the early days. I've done nested Proxmox to test upgrades. I did do nested Harvester eventually, and in the beginning to test it out. But if you really want to do it semi-right, I would not virtualize it at all. Only because it's pretty taxing, and storage The way that storage works, it expects storage. It expects dedicated storage. I'll just put it that way. And adding that another additional layer on top of it, you're just not going to get the performance that you want. But if you want to evaluate it, sure. If you want to evaluate it and you want to see it without destroying one of your machines, yeah, go for it. Go give it a shot. But I definitely wouldn't run it in any capacity other than evaluation, just to see what it's all about. And even then, I would probably say still go bare metal, just because you might be chalking up some of the performance to that system or harvester, when in fact it could be that it's nested virtualization. So yeah, I would go for that. Nice on getting the role for Red Hat. Yeah, I'm going through the application process for Rackspace. All right, that's where you're applying. Well, I hope it works out for you, HN Gaming UK. Good luck. Good luck this week. I think it's this week. Awesome. Let's see. Echo Scrub. Do you know of a good place to buy a 1U Supermicro CSE815? Trying to put a 5950X with 128 gigs of RAM for gaming community I have. That's tough. Like, I will say, like, I'm a fan of Supermicro systems in general. I think you get a lot of value from them if you're buying new, or not even if you're buying new. I think they're nice. They're nice. Yeah, nice, decent components. I have two 1Us. They're hard to find. They are hard to find. You can sometimes find them on Amazon, and the reason why they're hard to find is because they don't sell directly to consumer. I think they should, but they go through, I think, distributors. Real quick, Michu, I'm going with that. Thanks for the follow, appreciate it. But Supermicro doesn't sell directly to customers, which makes it a little bit harder. So then you have, I think they're distributors, maybe I'm using the wrong terminology, who then sell their products, and then they have different channels they sell them on. So it's, it's tough. I will say it's tough. Where I've had luck, where I bought mine, actually, my Supermicro servers, Staples. What's the Staples? Staples or Office Max? I think they might be the same now. Out of all places. Of all places. I couldn't believe it. But they had some discounts and they had the ones I wanted available. And I'm like, I haven't shopped here, and nothing against those two or one companies. I can't remember if they're the same. I think it was Office Max or Office Depot. I think they combined. Anyways, maybe they didn't. Who knows? But I bought it from there, and it turned out great. They're hard to find. Even Unify now has a channel where they're selling them, which is, I think, pretty cool. They only have one server there. Hopefully they become a reseller of Supermicro stuff, because they can push some volume and hopefully pass a discount on to the people who are buying stuff. They only have one there, and it actually is a 1U server. I don't know which one you're actually looking for, but it's. I think they need to do a little bit better, and I'm sure they're doing fine. But it's really hard to part out anything for Supermicro in general. It's like you got to find the exact one with the exact configuration that you want. It's not like other servers where you can kind of, I don't know that parts are interchangeable, or that fans will work, or that backplanes are going to work. With Supermicro, it's kind of like it's almost, I feel like I customized my whole machine, even though it's a standard configuration, and then bought that machine, because it's tough, at least for me. I don't buy servers every day, but I bought 720s, I've got, or 710s. I bought other servers before, and it was kind of like I knew exactly what I was getting. With Supermicro, I feel like everything's super custom, and so like it's hard to match up parts, especially if you buy them individually. That's where I was like, that's where I gave up. I was gonna do it, part it out individually and buy parts, and then I ended up going the easy route and buying it all as one new. So, but you pay a little bit more for that. Let's see. The PC Geek. I just found out I need new headphones for my game. Wow. I don't know why. Hopefully, for your game PC. I see. Yeah, that kind of stinks. I just plug some in. For some reason, I went from like, wow, you probably have wired too. No, I think you have wireless. I can't really. It's hard to tell. I've seen you stream on Twitch. It's hard to tell because you're this big with the green screen. Anyways, I was all in on wireless stuff. I'm kind of reeling that back a little bit and going wired, only because they're so dependable. But yeah, it stinks. Hey, but then again, you get new headphones. Yohiba, one of those. Techno Dim, hey, where do you usually buy your server equipment? I've been looking for servers, enclosures, disk shelves. I kind of answered that a little bit. Most of my equipment, to be honest, it's either eBay or Amazon. Those are my two places I go. Just because I trust those two stores. I trust their return policy. I trust that shipping is going to be fairly, average, even though it's way up now. But it's going to be reasonable or comparative. And even if I do pay a couple dollars extra, for me personally, sometimes paying a little bit more for a peace of mind is kind of worth it. So anyways, most of the time it's Amazon or eBay, and I will just compare the two. And I'll be honest, most of the time it's going to be Amazon, only because it's easy for me to trust Amazon, the return policy, everything that comes along with Amazon, to make things easy for the consumers. So for me, it's a pretty easy choice. Outside of those two, it's tough. Like I mentioned earlier, I think I bought my one-use servers. I think it was Office Depot. I have to look at the receipt. I can't remember. Totally random, but a lot of places have marketplaces too within them, and that's how I found my one-use servers. So it just depends. I'm sure there are tons of other companies and places who sell servers who would love to sell you one. Usually that's where I go to look. And it's easy to browse and stuff. They have facets and I can filter and categorize. So anyways, yeah, that's kind of where I go. There is a local place that sells on eBay here, but I usually look at their eBay store, and I never buy directly from them. I usually go through their eBay store just because of all the protection you get from eBay. Not that they would do anything wrong, but it's just, like I said, peace of mind. Peace of mind. Let's see, PC Geek, either, but I prefer wired. Yeah, me too. We were just talking about that. Sennheiser is good. I totally agree. A lot of my headphones in the beginning were all Sennheisers. I still have a pair over there. I have two pairs of Sennheisers. I totally agree. I've heard that before. Yeah, I'm a fan of Sennheisers. I am. I think there's a lot of decent value in there for sure. Commands. All right. You Sennheiser before. All right. You have the G430 now. Nice. Steel Series. Yeah, I had Steel Series for a while too. I had a wired pair. I ended up donating them. They're actually super nice. I went from Sennheiser to Steel Series to now these because it's less over my ears and it gets warm in here sometimes for me, but that's why I like earbuds. I'm a huge fan. Costager. I'm going with that. Thank you for all the super cool tutorials. Any thoughts on Authentic? Yeah, so first of all, yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad you like them. Authentic. I don't know enough about it. To have an opinion on it. I have to do some more research, for sure. But I don't know enough about it. Heard the name. I can't even tell you what it does off the top of my head. Vector Hacker. Yo, how's it going? iLude, guess who's back? iLude's back again. What's up, iLude? How's it going, man? Good to see you. EcoScrub, do you know of a good place to buy a one? We already talked about that. Millerruck, you're welcome. Let's see. Mapney, the internet is a series of tubes. It is totally. You got that reference for sure. And so is the pipeline in my Kubernetes cluster for sure. iLude, I was pressure washing the front walk. I need a shower, but priorities, yeah, for sure. Yeah, pressure washing. Yeah, it's about that time, isn't it? Start cleaning up for spring. Exor, I just wanted to stop and say hi. I love your content. Great work, man. Keep it up. I never managed to catch a stream, so happy to stop in. Thanks, Exor. I appreciate it. I appreciate it for sure. iLude, pressure washer, shower. Yeah, there you go. 2 for 1. Just hose yourself down with the pressure washer. Just not too close because those things can probably tear your skin off depending on the PSIs on that. But yeah, for sure. Why not? EcoScrub, is this a rerun? No, never. It never is. iLude, my life is one big rerun. I hear you. Dark mode. Let's see. Yohiba. What is NUT? NUT is a network UPS tool. It's a server and a tool, server client combination that helps you manage UPSs. So for UPSs that may or may not be network enabled or that have a physical connection, it can help you manage them. I think there's 1,000 of UPSs it can actually control or help or monitor. So it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Pretty in depth. It's pretty low level, a lot low leveler than anything Docker because it's all installed on the machine, but it's works out great. Works out great. It is bright in here now. Ooh. MIPS. That's what I'm going. MIPS. Ha! I already had the Unify stuff, just the rack, UPS, and server new. Hey, that's still a lot of new stuff for sure. Mathny, time for my do it memes. Yeah, do as in do. Yeah, I like it. Let's see. I'm gonna look for ones where you guys are mentioning me or it's a question, because the way that things are arranged on here are a little bit different. Yeah, it was Twitter. All right, Mitch. All right, I got it. I remember because it was just recently. I think just recently I responded to it. Maybe this morning. But I hearted it a while ago. But then I saw it again. I'm too slow on the Discord link. Yeah. No, you're usually pretty good. Gunny, last coffee an hour ago. Time to top up. Well, I've switched over to now, caffeinated beverages or bubbly water that has caffeine in it too. But after this one, I think I probably need to lay off a little bit because, like I said, I went from 0 to 60 real fast from, just being calm to this right now with a lot of caffeine. So, Mathny, I only have 1.4K points. Well, you burned them. Oh, man, I thought you were up there on like 10, 20K like some others. I was like, oof, it burns. Coaster, Unraid. Yeah, sure. Yeah, Unraid, it's a good point too. Unraid, thanks for throwing that in there. I forget about it sometimes. Unraid, another good all-in-one solution for sure. If you want to do storage, you have a lot of benefits there too with storage. The way that they think they use Butter or Better FS. I can't remember. I think so, but a little more flexible than ZFS for sure. At least in its current state. Mathny, talk to Manny on points. Okay, yeah, for sure. Current gen games with Nick. Hey, how's it going? Hey, yeah, it's been a long time. How's it going? Hey, good to see you. Welcome back after a long time. Haven't seen your name in a long time. Hopefully you're doing well. Good to see you. HN Gaming, real quick. Voodoo Ray, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Proxmox is great. The only thing I wish it had from the VMware world is DRS. Oh, so I assume a disaster recovery solution. I never went that far in ESX or vSphere. That sounds like an enterprise feature. I'm assuming, especially if it's disaster recovery system. I'm making a lot of assumptions about what the acronym actually is and what the feature is. But yeah, true. And also, I mean, something obvious for Proxmox is it stinks backing up Proxmox itself. Like, I wish I could just export the config in a tarball and just give it to me, and then restore it somewhere else on another machine and just give it to me. I think, I think they take the approach of high availability and just spin up another node. And as long as you have one node up ever, you have HA and you don't ever need to back up your configuration. I'm making a lot of assumptions, but very similar to like Kafka. Just don't take it down. Just add more replicas. So. Oh, let's see. T. Groutman. I have to upgrade VMware if I want TPM support to make Windows 11 guess. Interesting. So that's interesting because on Proxmox you can virtualize that TPM chip or that storage space that will write to TPM. So interesting. Mango Rule. VMUG is $200 annually and you get vSphenner and up to 6 sockets. Yeah, I hear that a lot, but there's a lot of stipulations around what VMUG what it actually gets you. I mean, really, it does get you the licenses, yes, and you can use them mostly freely. But for the most part, if you look at it, it says not for production systems, not for commercial use, that kind of stuff. And so, I kind of am like, is my stuff like commercial use? I mean, I host websites out of it. I don't make money off those websites, but, my YouTube content is monetized. It just runs into this situation I don't think I want to get into with those types of licenses. Self-hosting, home labs, learning, absolutely, yeah, use it. Honestly, I think they should give that stuff away for free because it just brings more people into their ecosystem, but that's not their business model. But But they do say, and the last time I looked at their licensing, it basically says not for production. I don't know exactly what production means. My home production is kind of production because I have web services that run out of here. And then it also says not for commercial use. And I mean, some of my stuff is monetized indirectly. So I'm just like, I don't want to go down that path. But yeah, good point. If you're doing stuff at home and you want to learn, and VMUG is definitely, I'm pronouncing that acronym as if I that's how people pronounce it. I assume it's VMware User Group. I say VMUG because it's just easy. But absolutely, and a lot of people in our community use that as well. Lickety splitted. Have I done much with IPv6? No. I'm going to be honest. I haven't done much at all. It was funny you say that because I was just reviewing this morning, and part of my patching is reviewing all the Cloudflare IPs and looking at their list of IPv4 and IPv6. And I looked at their IPv6 list and I thought, maybe someday I'll tackle that, but I'm not going to right now. No, I mean, the only, to be honest, the only real world experience I have with IPv6 is, Windows will communicate, I think, peer-to-peer or with each other on IPv6 if it can. And that may or may not be the case anymore. So I haven't done a lot with IPv6. IPv4 for me has been good enough. And I've kind of just been kicking that can down the road until I really, really need to know about it. Current content, current gen games with Nick. I got a question about recording. Yeah, throw it in there. Let me know. Tech with Andrew. Hey, how's it going? Almost got my network back in order after a snafu this week. My Eeros updated and ended up changing my IP address prefix from 192 to 10 dot across my whole entire network. Ooh, that stinks. Ooh, so I assume a firmware update to your Eero, and then it just gave you a whole entire new subnet. Not fun. That does not sound fun at all. Oh my gosh, that sounds terrible. Like if my DHCP server was just like all of a sudden like, hey, new subnet for everyone, new dynamic IP addresses for everyone who wants them, I would be in a world of hurt. It'd take me a while to figure that out too. I think it would, because I would try to ping my gateway. I'd be like, the gateway's not there anymore. What is going on? It's on. That does not sound fun at all. Because yeah, it would be on, but the gateway would be different and none of your machines can communicate. And then I would just hop on mobile. Mobile would then give me a DHCP address, and I would look and I would ping the thing I thought it was on. And I was like, oh, I'm not on the same subnet. And then I would see the gateway and I would say, why? Does not sound fun. Does not sound fun for sure. Let's see. Nick, is 80 bitrate too high for recording 4K with HDR? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I haven't done I've done some 4K, not with HDR. 80 bitrate? I don't know. With recording with OBS, I generally lean towards like, crank the bitrate up as high as you possibly can. Only because like later when you're editing and then, when you're editing and then send it to the target system, when you send it to YouTube, basically, it's going to get compressed again. So start with the highest quality you can. The higher you turn that bit rate, obviously, the more disk space it's going to eat up. But I go pretty high. And I assume you mean 80,000, I assume. KBS, kilobits per second, I assume. I mean, it sounds pretty high, but 4K HDR, who knows? I would have to Google it for sure. That's for sure. But my general guidance is just keep it as high as you can, if your disk space allows. And then when you create your final video, you start with a higher quality because that's all going to get compressed, and then you just have more bits to compress, and don't compress it right up front. Or have, lower bit rate, so then you get artifacting everywhere. Me Hive LC. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Sorry, I probably slaughtered that name. Apologize. EcoScrub. Why do one of your servers have 2 power supplies instead of 1? This company I'm trying to co-locate with uses 2 power supplies. Yeah, I think it just depends. I don't think there's like some standard that says like hey, 1U servers all have 2 power supplies. No, I mean, mine only has one. Mine only has one. Both of mine have one. That was a conscious decision, or I guess a trade-off that I had to decide, and if that's what I wanted. But both of my 1U servers only have one. Only have one. I think a lot of people, you know, just in general, I mean, how much redundancy do you want to have? Do you want to have redundancy in power for your power supplies? For servers, most of the time, yeah, absolutely you do. Absolutely you do. If you're running anything you really care about, because, you know, one power supply dies, then the other one will just take over. PC Geek, I have wired. All right, my man. Pickle Jeff. Pickle Jeff. I like your videos and Proxmox. Thanks. Yeah, no problem at all. I'm glad you like them. IPv6 is problematic because it has no NAT. Yeah, there you go. That's another one too. I didn't, like I said, I've been kicking that can down the road for sure. IPv6 internet is routable is the problem. Yeah, I hear you. M. Bonami, I found your videos on Standing Table a few days ago. I'm thinking of buying one soon. How happy are you with the one you have so far showed in the video? Any issues at all? How happy am I? I have a second one back there. That's how happy I am with them. And I actually have 3 of them. 3 of them. I love them. I'm actually using one right now. It's the one you saw in the videos. So it's standing desk. Love them. I love them. And for me personally, what I've done now 3 times, because I have one here that is right here you don't see. I have one back there that you do see, and then I have one in my wife's office. Obviously you don't see. What I usually do, buy the legs, buy the wood separate. The wood I usually get from IKEA. I get real wood. I get their big desk. It's, you know, I don't know, 5.5 feet. And I just attach that to the legs. You know, the legs alone are gonna be as expensive as some other standing desks, but these are like 2-stage dual motors, so it can support up to 250 pounds of weight on top of it. Some of the single stage motors, I don't know how much they could do. I don't know a ton about them, but I built them enough that I love them. And I probably have, you can't see, I probably have at least 100 pounds of stuff on this desk, because between cameras, lights, 3 monitors, Go XLR, laptop, and all the other junk I have right here, it's at least 100 pounds. So anyways, yeah, super happy with them, so much that I have another one back there for when I need to work on systems or whatever. And my wife has one as well, and she loves it too. So I'm a huge fan, I love them. PC Geek, I was thinking of a pair of Bayer Damic 80 ohm DT 770 Pros. I don't even know them. Bayer Dynamic. I never heard of them. Sounds interesting for sure. Let's see. Okay, guys. Yeah, I'm right about there. Ooh, let's see. Let's see. Core count. Have you worked on Argo CD, Tecton, or Customize? Have I worked with either of the 3? I've a little bit with Argo CD. Sounds interesting. Customize, I know what it is. Tecton, not too familiar. Familiar with Argo, familiar with Customize, not familiar with Tecton. So I have done it a little bit. You know, it's basically GitOps, or it's ways to customize installations or automate or source control your configuration and deployments for Kubernetes. There's lots of things you can do, especially with Argo CD. Limited access to them. You know, I've been doing a push model for my CI/CD. You know, basically GitOps stuff for a long time. I've been thinking about, you know, what does that look like from a pull model if I was going to go down and use something like Argo or Flux. Not there yet. Not there yet. Haven't done a ton with them. I'd love to explore them some more in the future, for sure. For sure. Let's see. Agent Gaming UK. Hey, thanks for the correction. DRS is Distributed Resource Scheduler. I was going with DR. I was thinking disaster recovery. Basically, it can be used to automatically balance VMs within the cluster or groups of hosts within the cluster based on resource of said VMs. Gotcha. So auto balancing across nodes across hypervisor nodes. Awesome. I like it. I like it because yeah, you if you have a cluster of 3, you don't want all your resources stacked on one machine. You would kind of average out the average, the resources that it's using, and then shift those VMs around. Sounds really awesome. Yeah, that sounds awesome for sure. Sounds like horizontal pod auto scaling with Affinity for Kubernetes. I'm trying to relate it to things I have worked with a little bit more. Shifty, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. HN Gaming UK. No, yeah. So yeah, good point. Yeah, Proxmox I don't think has anything like that. So yeah, good point. Good point. All right, guys. Let's. I'm gonna look for direct mentions only because it's about the time, and I didn't mention this in the beginning. If you're new here, I usually keep it to about an hour. You guys got a lot to do on a weekend, and I'm not here to talk your ear off forever. And we can always continue the conversation in Discord afterwards for sure. MB Dealer, thanks for follow. Appreciate it. Tuxit. Bonjour. Good to see you. Gonna look for mentions. Let's see. Gonna look for mentions or things that are mentioning me or a question. This is hard to look in this view right here. Grog Malblood. Hi, glad to catch the stream. Thank you. Working SOC can get slow on the weekends, so it's great to learn. Awesome. Well, hey, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here for sure. And last one, Fimite. Hey, Techno Tim, I discovered your channel 5 days ago, and I already installed Portainer, Pi-hole, Traffic, and Grafana. Thanks for the videos. Hey, thank you. That's my wheelhouse. No, I love them too. Great products for sure. Absolutely. Portainer, fantastic. Pi-hole, fantastic. Traffic, fantastic. Grafana, obviously fantastic. So thank you. Thanks for stopping in. So hey guys, thanks so much for being here. Thank you for all your questions, all your comments, everything that you threw into chat. It's been awesome. I say this a lot, but this is the one time during the week where I get to actually talk about this kind of stuff, like real talk, not just chat in Discord, but talk about a bunch of different topics and expand my mind and on what is available and what you guys are interested in. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. There were lots of follows, lots of subs and resubs. So thank you guys so much for the continued support. Thank you so much for checking out my channel, for following, for subbing, for resubbing. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks for spending your points on my lights. We ended on this is my favorite color. I don't want to say it, but you guys can probably tell from my branding everywhere. It's always pink. But anyways, this is my favorite theme. Feel free to change it if you don't like it. But thanks for earning points and spending points too, and for chatting it up. If you need to get a hold of me, or you have more questions, or want to talk with other people, or maybe didn't get something solved, or want to bounce some ideas off people, we have a very active Discord community. And on top of that, we just reached partner status. So awesome. So if you don't know what that is, Discord has an application process for people who run Discord servers. And you can apply to be partner. With partner, you get certain benefits. Our community already had all the benefits because they're awesome. But at the same time, we get a partner badge, and we get, I think, a couple additional extra things. Plus, then we get to possibly use some additional features from Discord that they roll out. We can basically beta test some stuff for them, or give them feedback on stuff that we do or don't like. So anyways, a huge thank you to everyone in our Discord community. I know that, hey, it says that, it's my server, but really, honestly, it's everyone's server that's in there. Huge thank you to everyone who chats, who shares, who emotes, to everything, to voice chat, to using VC, to video sharing. It's really helped out. And I think that, Discord accepting that application is a testament to everyone that's in there, because if you guys weren't there, it definitely wouldn't have happened. So I really appreciate it. So if you guys are interested in joining the Discord community, it's not just about me. It's about everyone else for sure. And all the categories that we have there are about different technology stacks that we're interested in. So there's definitely something there for everyone. If you're interested, there's links in chat. If not, now I have a link too. Just go to discord.gg/technotim. You can get there that way too. Hey, at the end, Holy Merc, resub, Prime, 7 months. Thank you. Holy Merc, how's it going? Yeah, end with lights. But I do have a vanity URL. If not, you can find it down below. But it's, discord.gg/technotim. That'll give you an invite right to the server. It is public and it's open to everyone who's interested. If you need me, I'll be in Discord here in a little bit. I'm always on Twitter. I don't tweet a ton. I'm not a huge tweeter. Maybe once a week. I don't know, a couple times a week. I need to get better at that. I just sometimes feel like I don't have a ton of awesome things to share. But the things that I do share are thought out. So, anyways, I'm rambling now. I'll see you guys in Discord. I'll be in there in a little bit. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next week. I will have something out for you this week too, and I'll definitely be back next Saturday. So enjoy your Saturday wherever you are. Hopefully you got good weather. And yeah, take care, folks. Be good to each other.